everyone, my name is Melissa and I'm here to guide you through our AU Business Math Blackboard shell. First, I would like to mention that the left-hand column, also known as our menu, houses all of our courses information. Very first thing we're going to take a look at is announcements. So to get to the current page that I'm currently on, I clicked the Announcements tab, which would bring you to a welcome message from your professor. The next tab is known as the course information. Once you click this tab, our course's information will appear. This will look different depending on who your professor is, but it'll let you know when your synchronous classes are versus when your asynchronous classes are. As a reminder, synchronous classes are the classes that you meet in person or virtually, aka online, where the professor will go over content, you'll work on practice questions, maybe do some group work, and then asynchronous classes are the days that you're going to be working independently. If you scroll down, you'll also see a link to this current video that you're watching on how to use Blackboard for our course, and at the bottom is our course outline. As we go further down, the tab underneath that is the assessment information. In this tab is everything you need to know about the assessments that are offered in this course. It also tells you the professor's policy or their late policy. Again, this will look different in your course. The tab underneath that is just a survey. You'll essentially use this in Block A. Let me just click that for you. They're just two surveys we're going to want you to answer. One of them is known as the About Me survey. So again, just information about yourself and your learning environment. The second is going to be the technology survey, essentially giving us more information about technology and your experience with it. Now, another really important tab is this online classes. So once you click this tab, this is where you will find your classes for the course. So this is where you're going to meet synchronously, aka virtually, with your professor and your classmates. So the course information will be here. So as you're going to see, it'll maybe a different title. But what you're going to have to do is when you have class, you're going to have to click that link. And then, of course, it's not allowing us to get in yet because it's not Monday, May the 10th at 9 a.m. And then it'll just ask you to join the class. So whenever you have classes, that will be here. Next is your class recordings. So if your professor wishes, and as a class, if you wish to record your sessions, those can be found underneath class recordings. So the next tab is a math tutoring tab. So we actually offer a couple of math tutoring services at George Brown College. The first one is known as Math Support. That is offered through academic upgrading, and you'll find all of its information here on when sessions are available and what they look like. There's also the Tutoring and Learning Center that's affiliated with George Brown College, where you can also book one-on-one appointments to work on content with a tutor. I'm just going to scroll back up here. The next tab is known as the Assessment Calendar. So I feel like that's self-explanatory. We're going to take a look at it. Of course, this one is blank, but essentially this is the calendar that's going to house all of your assessment dates in the course. So when your quizzes are, when your test is, and when your discussion boards are due. Now this tab right here, course content, quizzes, and tests, very important. This is where all of the course content is going to be housed. So the very first module that is going to be taught in business math is known as whole numbers and decimals. It's known as module 1, aka unit 1. So all of that information is within this section. So to get into that section, you just have to click the name itself, and it'll bring you to another tab, another menu, let's say, or another table of contents. The table of contents is laid out as follows. So the very first tab is known as the module introduction and overview. Here you will find a brief introduction about the course, in addition to the course outcomes and objectives. So the course outcomes and objectives is the content that you were going to learn in that specific module, and they're organized according to letter. The next tab you're going to see is something known as a module package. So this is the course's unit package. Here you will find detailed examples, information, wonderful hints, and tips and tricks within that module. There are also some practice questions. Your professor will guide you through this and let you know what you are learning and when. The next tab is known as the success markers. Essentially, this is where a lot of practice questions are housed. Every module has its own set of practice problems related to that specific unit. So all of the objectives that you're going to be learning in that particular module will be laid out in the table of contents. So how this section works is as follows. Once you click on the objective, every objective is organized according to read, watch, and try. Read represents the pages that we want you to read in the module package. Watch represents any videos that is related to that objective within that unit. Try are the practice questions that we would like you to try. So for example, in Objective A, defining whole numbers and decimals, we want you to read page 2 in the module package. There is no video to watch at this time, and there's also nothing to practice. Once you've done those 3, you can move on to Objective B. Once again, you'll see the read, watch, and try. So if I just go back to our course content here, if Module 2 or when Module 2 becomes available to you, if you click it, you will see it's the fractions module. And once again, the table of contents is laid out in the same way. The first piece talks about the module introduction, the overview. If you scroll down, you'll see the outcomes and the objectives for that module. The next tab is the module package. Then it is the practice questions. And once again, objectives A through L in this case are laid out in the table of contents. The last thing I wanted you to know is each module quiz will be located in each module specific folder. So for example, the fractions quiz, as we're in the fraction folder, will be located at the very bottom. So when that quiz is made available from your professor, it will appear at the very bottom of the table of contents. So this is how the course content quizzes and tests section or tab works in our Blackboard shell. The next thing I want you to see is the discussion board tab. Within this tab, you'll find one of 2 things. The first is a forum known as your course questions and comments. Here you can post any questions, concerns, or thoughts you have about the actual course. The next type of forums you will see are your discussion board assignments. So the first one available to you is your introduction post, so block A. So here we just want to gather some information about you, just to introduce yourself. And as the course continues, the discussion board assignments will be posted within this section. The next tab we're going to take a look at is grades. Here you will find all of your marks for the course when they become available to you. The next piece of information that I want to show you is the contact information. So here, if you select this, nothing is posted yet, but you will find your professor's contact information in addition to our counselor's contact information. The next thing I wanted to show you is the email tab. Within the email tab, you have the ability to email your classmates in addition to your professor. And the very last tab I wanted to let you know is this Blackboard Help tab. So here, if you select this tab, it'll open up another web browser which will provide you information on how to help you. So that concludes our very brief tour. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I hope you enjoy our course. All the best and good luck.